Today we are going to start our new lesson, the course actually fundamental of thermodynamics. This is lecture number 1, the introduction to thermodynamics. Here we are going to talk about the basic and fundamental idea on thermodynamics and some basic terms. This is a course content, lecture content. Before going to the thermodynamics, we will try to find the investigate some idea on engineering. Okay, one side there is a nature. Nature provides us some resources. As human, what we want comfortable life. Uh, Nature provides some resources like water, air, solar power, wood. There are a number of resources. There are a number of resources. So what we do is to use this nature, the resources of nature to provide a good life is called as engineering. I think this is very simple definition to get some idea on engineering. Okay, now let's talk. The people who doing this work is called as engineer. There are a number of engineers: mechanical engineer, electrical engineers, computer engineers, automobile engineers, civil engineers, aircraft engineers. There are a number of engineers, but all together we can take the definition of engineering in this way. I think this is quite simple, but anyway, there are a number of different definitions, very complex definition on engineering. You can use some text book and internet also to find some word, some definition on engineering. Okay, in mechanical engineering, now we will try to find the what is meaning of mechanical engineering. Again, the again I will start with nature. In here, what are the resources we are going to look at is the resources what we are going to look at is energy and also material. The normally the form of energy means the fuel, plus maybe solar energy. Likewise, the people what or human what they want, humans want comfortable life. Now here to do this task, energy convert into the human wants, we can do machines through machines. Okay, now you think, now using different kind of machine. Okay, one kind of machine is provide or convert energy into another energy form or maybe electricity. Okay, now you think the power plant, they take some charcoal, they in the plant, charcoal are used to provide some energy source, that means power, electric power. So, and also the another type of machine have driven the machines. Another type of machines are used to drive machines, and also there are another type of machines they can use to produce machine, and also they can use to provide some the produce some gadget. Okay, this is the simple way to define the mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering, what they do, they mainly focus on machine. They mainly work with machine to convert resources into useful things. Okay, now let's go into now we will try to find the thermodynamics. I think this is very difficult to explain the simple matter, but here we will take some idea. We'll try to find some idea on thermodynamics. Okay, we will notice that the one of the definition a mechanical engineer was machine that use nature resources and produce energy, and that which the here we are going now. Before going to the definition, the thermodynamics, I will go back here. The mechanical engine, there is a one side of energy, other side of some output. The input, using input, okay, this input converted to some sort of the power, energy, okay, energy source using machine, okay, using machine. Okay, now we will look at that. What is thermodynamic? In the left side here, the resources, the nature resources we can use that usually in form of the energy, okay, energy. Normally it may be fuel, okay. This provide energy in form of heat, okay. If you stand in sun, you feel warm. If you burn some fuel, you can take some heat. Now this energy which machine produce is in the form of work. The science which looks we are looking at such machines which convert heat into work, okay, is known as thermodynamics. So thermodynamics essentially going to look at stuff which interact doing or absorb work, and interact doing or absorb heat, okay. And here interaction absorb or doing work, interact or absorb or doing heat. And this could be a machine or gadget. In thermodynamics, we call this as a system, okay, the system. And this word we will define later. Now, sorry, this is the end of part 1. Okay, now the last part we discussed some idea on thermodynamic engineering, mechanical engineering. Here we are going to again investigate what is thermodynamic. In this there are a number of definitions, okay, there are a number of definitions, but you can take the simple idea, and there are a number of definitions. Using this number of definitions, you can take some idea on thermodynamic. In this video, you can watch this video, then you can say, you can get some idea on thermodynamics. Okay, that means thermo means heat, that means okay, thermodynamics, the simple meaning, the motion of heat. That means heat move one point to another point. There are a number of ways. We'll discuss it later. Then we can say the thermodynamic is a branch of science which deal with reaction among heat energy and work done by the heat energy, as we discussed earlier. Okay, it is the interact with heat, absorb heat and doing work, absorb heat or doing release heat, or absorb work or doing work. Okay, in thermodynamics, what we want to study thermodynamics, we want some prerequisites, mainly physics, the heat and thermodynamics, concept of thermodynamics in chemistry, about physical chemistry, and then maybe kinetic, uh, thermokinetic. The later mathematics, mainly calculus. In calculus, you want to mainly know some idea on differentiation and integration. Okay, and also you should have some ability to work with numbers. Then next we will try to find the who are the contributors in thermodynamics, mainly engineers. There are different number of engineers, the physicists, chemists, mathematicians, and so on. There are number, we cannot say, we can definitely say these are the people who use this thermodynamic concept, but this list we cannot end. Okay, the usage, we will try to find, we will later learn what are the usages of this one, application of this one. Okay. Then why is the study of thermodynamics important? In day-to-day life, you have to work with heat. Then work with heat, you should know some idea on heat, and you should know how to control it, because you know it is, heat is not the very safety thing, it is very dangerous thing. Therefore you should want to know how to deal with them. The study of thermodynamics is important because many machine and modern devices change heat into work. Then an example, refrigerator, and you can also say the boiling kettle, and also the compressors. There are a number of devices such as an automobile engine or turn work into heat or cooling, such as with the refrigerator. Okay, understand how thermodynamics works helps you understand how machines that use thermodynamic work. Okay, this is the end of part 2. Okay, basic concept of thermodynamics. Okay, we will go terms by terms to get some idea of thermodynamics. The first, thermal equilibrium. Now we will take, okay, now you think there are two bodies which are not in equal temperature. You think this is 25 and this is 35. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, so you think this is 1 kilogram uh, iron cube, this is 1 kilogram iron cube, that means same material, same weight. Now what we are going to do, now we are going to touch each other. Okay, now initial temperature of A is 25, initial temperature of B is 35. Then what we do, and we touch each part together. Now time to time we can check the temperature. What will be your observation? You can see the temperature of part 1 is increasing, and also the temperature of part B is decreasing, and then you can see the at the last, where sometime after a while you can say at some point the temperature of this part is become to 30 and this part 30. After that you cannot change, you cannot see any change of value of temperature. Okay, now there are two parts, two body with equal temperature, there is no change of temperature, that is called that. Now we can say the bodies are in thermal equilibrium condition. That means the thermal equilibrium condition means there is no change of temperature. The each body, each part of system, each part of body, we can say this is the system. The system doesn't change their temperature with time. That kind of situation is called as thermal equilibrium. Okay, we will try to define the definition. Heat is the flow of energy from heat is the flow of energy from high temperature to lower temperature. And then remember that always heat moves from hotter higher temperature body to or system to lower temperature system. There doesn't matter the temperature, the mass, or the other thing. The heat flow is mainly depend on the temperature difference. There any temperature difference, heat flows hotter body to lower body, lower temperature body. Okay, cooler body. When those temperatures balance out, heat stop flowing, then the system is said to be an in equilibrium, thermal equilibrium. That means there is no change of temperature between two systems. Then that situation is called as a thermal equilibrium. Now you can see this is a hottest body, this is a cold body. Now hot body to cold body, heat flows because of the temperature difference. Okay, when there is no any temperature difference, you can see there is no any heat flows. Actually, sum of the heat flows is zero. Okay, sum of the heat flow is zero. But if you see, but there is another thing you can say. Now you think the simple definition. If you think now, if 100 joule of heat moves from this A to B, what happened again? The temperature this part is increased, the temperature this part is decreased. Now again, this is not the equilibrium position. Therefore, to get to back the normal condition, 100 joule of energy should move from body B to body A. Clear? Again, දෙන්නගේ උෂ්ණත්වය සමානයි. දැන් අපි සමාන නම් අපි හිතුව මෙයාගෙන් ජෝල් 100ක් මෙහෙට ගියා කියලා. එතකොට මෙයාගේ උෂ්ණත්වය වැඩි වෙනවා, මෙයාගේ උෂ්ණත්වය අඩු වෙනවා. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? එක්කෙනෙක් උෂ්ණත්වය වැඩි වෙලා අනිත් එක්කෙනා අඩු වෙලා. එහෙනම් අනිවාර්යෙන් උෂ්ණත්වය වැඩි එක්කෙනාගේ දැන් අඩු එක්කෙනාට යන්න ඕනේ. ඉක්විලිබියම් එක නැති වුණේ මොකක් නිසා? ජූල් 100ක් ආව නිසා මෙයා ජූල් 100ක් මෙයාට දීලා ආයෙත් ඉක්විලිබියම් පොසිෂන් එකට ගන්නවා. Okay, that means there is a heat flow, but the sum of the heat flow is zero. දැන් මෙහෙට 100ක් ගියාම මෙහෙට 100ක් එනවා. එතකොට මේකේ 100ක් ගියා නම් ඍණ 100ක් ආව නම් ධන 100 ඍණ 100 ධන 100 උත්තරේ බිඳුවයි. Okay. Okay, then we will try to find the definition of heat. Now get some idea, you can say in okay, now we'll try to find, we can find the definition on heat using this simple figure. Now you have, there is a hot body and this is a cold body. Now you can see some sort of energy source is moving from hot body to cold body. That heat source is, sorry, energy source is called as heat. උණුසුම් වස්තුවක ඉඳන් කිසිල් වස්තුවකට යම් energy source එකක් ගමන් කරනවා. ඒ energy source එක අපි heat එක කියලා සරලව කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. A form of energy that flows from a warmer object to a cooler object. Temperature is defined as a degree of hotness or coldness of the body. And also we can say, okay, now you can say these two bodies are thermal equilibrium because of the temperature of each system are equal. That means the fact, a physical quantity that we can define the system in thermal equilibrium or not, that physical quantity can explain express as temperature. යම් වස්තුන් දෙකක් thermal equilibrium එකේ තියෙනවද නැද්ද කියන එක අර්ථ දක්වන රාශිය අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් temperature කියලා. Then we will try to find the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Actually in thermodynamics there are 4 laws. Zero law of thermodynamics, one law, first law, second law, and third law. Here we are going to learn first and second law, but before that it is better to learn about zeroth law. Okay, in the zero law I will take this definition. If two systems are in thermodynamic equilibrium with a third system, the two original systems are in thermal equilibrium with each other. Basically, if system A is in thermal equilibrium with system C and the system B. Also, in thermal equilibrium with system C, system A and system B are in thermal equilibrium with each other. Okay, now I will get the very simple definition on this one. Now you think, okay, this is example. Okay, now thermal equilibrium means the each system should have same temperature. Now you think the system A has 25 temperature. If A and C are in thermal equilibrium, definitely the temperature of the C should be 25. Okay, then in this one, then this is 25, we already taken it. Now if A and B are in thermal equilibrium with each other, then the B should be also 25, and A 25, B 25, A 25, C 25. That means the all, if all system are in the thermal equilibrium, that means the all system should be in same temperature. That means A and B and C are in 25. That is the basic simple definition of zero law of thermodynamics. This concept that we use to get some information in thermodynamic system. Okay, okay, we will take some example. Now you think, okay, now there is a ice coffee glass, ice coffee glass. Now, okay, now to check, to measure this temperature, we can use a thermometer. Now thermometer is directly connects with ice plus coffee. That means using thermometer we can check, we can find the temperature of ice coffee. Okay, okay, here ice plus coffee mix. Okay, now there's a thermometer. Okay, that means if you check the temperature of the ice, we can use thermometer to check the temperature of the we can use the temperature of the ice using thermometer. Now you think the temperatures, if it indicates the 0 centigrade temperature, that means the temperature of the ice is also 0. Okay, and you can see the ice plus coffee is in a glass. Okay, that means the ice and coffee directly contact with the glass. That means the temperature of the glass should be 0. Okay, but we cannot use thermometer to directly find the temperature of the glass, but here simply we can say the ice temperature of the ice and temperature of the glass should be 0, because this is, we can say these are in thermal equilibrium because they are touching, and also we can say the temperature of the ice and the temperature of the thermodynamic thermometer is equal. That means the temperature of the thermometer and the temperature of the glass should be same. ඒ කියන්නේ ice විදුරුවත් එක්ක ටච් වෙලා තියෙනවා, ice thermometer එකත් එක්ක ටච් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒක thermometer එකෙන් මනින්නේ ice සොලියුෂ්ණත්වය. එතකොට වීදුරුවෙන් මනින්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට ice සොලියුෂ්ණත්වය දන්නවා නම් glass සොලියුෂ්ණත්වයත් අපිට 0යි කියලා උපකල්පනය කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද මේක අර A විදියට ගන්න ice plus copy එක B විදියට ගන්න පුළුවන් අපිට thermometer එක C විදියට ගන්න පුළුවන් මේක glass එක. එතකොට මේ දෙන්න thermo equilibrium එක මේ දෙන්න thermo equilibrium එක න මේ දෙන්න thermo equilibrium එක. Okay, that is the very basic idea on the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, this is the end of part 3. Okay, now we are going to find the definition of system. The material in the portion of space to be analyzed. That means, okay, now we'll think that there's a water bottle with lid. It's called closed with lid. Now there's some amount of water. There's air. Okay. Now I am going to take my system as water and air. Okay. Now you can the inside area of the water and the bottle is called as system. That means the study area which I take from the environment or the entire universe. This area is called as the system. Okay, but here normally we can take some boundaries. We call this the boundary. We can take some boundary to divide the system and the surround. Okay, this is the study area. Study the area which are going to study is called as system. Okay, later with the better definition I will explain what is system. There are actually 3 types of system: closed system, open system, and isolate system. Now you think, now with the closed lid, we cannot now, if you turn it down like this, okay, now water is here, air is here. Now there's a lid, therefore water not split outside. It is not going, water doesn't go to outside. Okay, this kind of system called closed system. But if there is a bottle without lid, and if you turn it down, see, rotate out downward, what happens? Water moves outward. That kind of system called open system. Now you think, now there is a, now if we apply some heat to bottle, what happens? The water the temperature water increases and the system also increases. But you see thing, now there is a system with isolate layer, and if you apply some heat, the heat doesn't cross this boundary, this margin, this area, therefore heat cannot move from here to here. That means the temperature of system doesn't change, and also we cannot remove some water or air from the system, or we cannot add some water or air. This kind of system called isolate system. Okay, now we will try to find the definition of isolate and open, isolate and closed system with the example. Okay, okay, now closed system. Closed system is called also as a control mass. Okay, here we control mass. It is a type of system in which only energy interaction and no mass interaction take place. That means there is no heat change or energy change between across the boundary. The mass also, sorry, mass, there's no any change of the mass across the boundary, but energy can move and from inside to outside or outside to inside. That means the mass doesn't change. The mass cannot cross the system boundary. There is a fixed quantity of matter in system. Okay. In this example, you can take some idea on the system, closed system. Okay. This is normally we can say this system. Okay. That's the study area which are going to study the anything which are going to study is called as system, and the outside and the system and the other area which are not going to study is called as surrounding, and system and surrounding can be divided using something that's called as boundary. Okay. And if there are any heat interaction but no mass interaction, that kind of system called closed system. Okay. Now in this is the very simple example for the closed system. Now there are some outlet here. Come now, the fuel has come to the engine. Okay, the two valves are closed. Therefore, this fuel cannot go through this here. Also, this exhaust outlet. Okay, this kind of system called a closed system. Now you can see there's a tube with the lid. Okay, this is called as a closed system. Then open system. An open system is called is also called as control valve. This type of system in which both energy and mass interact take places. Mass can cross the system boundary, and also heat can cross the boundary. The amount of matter within the control volume can change. Okay, and this is the example. Now you think, now in the open system, mass can interact and energy can interact. That means we can add some mass to system and remove some mass system from the system, and the energy can add to energy. We can add some energy to system. We can remove energy from the system. In this example, you can see now this valve is open. Therefore, exhaust gas can flow through this line, this outlet, and here this is the lid. It is open. Therefore, we can add some material, and also we can remove some material. Here, there's no isolated layer. Therefore, we can add some heat or energy through the boundary. Okay. The IC load. This is very important things, that because sometimes we discuss the way most of the time we discuss the isolate system. There's no change of, there is no mass, so energy cannot cross the system. Okay, there is a quantity of matter and the energy. Okay, there's no any heat interaction or mass interaction. Okay. This is now there is a, this is the tube, this is the lid, and this insulation, no heat or mass transfer takes place. These are this kind of system called isolate system. Okay, this is the simple example, and this is simple definition, and with the of systems: the closed system, open system, and isolate system. Okay, next we are going to talk about the boundary. As you know, boundary is the margin which we can divide the system and surround. The boundary encloses the system. The isolated does not allow heat to pass. Now, when we consider about the boundary, there are different type of boundary. The boundary may rigid or flexible, and also it can be real or imaginary. Now you can see here this. Now this is the piston. This is the piston arm. Piston arm can move. Piston arm can be moved. Therefore, the if it is a movable, then this value doesn't fix, that the volume can change. This kind of boundary called the movable. If the volume of the system doesn't change, then this kind of boundary called fixed. And here now there is some tube. Now for our reference, for our study, we can take the one part from this tube, but here you can see there's no any visible boundary. That means we here, but we can see there is some boundary. This is the boundary which we can decide or define for our things. This kind of boundary called imaginary boundary. If you want, you can throw your finger across this margin, because this is the imaginary. අපි මේක හිතෙන් හදා ගන්න boundary එකක්. හරි. හැබැයි ඒක අපිට පේනවනම් ඒක අපිට touch කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් අන්න ඒ වගේ boundary එකක් කියනවා අපි real boundary එකක් කියලා. Okay. In the bottle, now you can see, consider the bottle. Okay. Now there is a plastic bottle. Okay, with lid. Okay, this is the boundary. Okay, this is the boundary. That means in inner layer of the bottle is boundary. If it is a plastic bottle, we can change. If you apply some force, the shape of the bottle can be changed. That means we can change the shape of the boundary. That kind of boundary called movable. If it is now you think this is a glass bottle. In glass bottle, apply some force, we cannot change the shape of the bottle. That means that we cannot change the shape of the margin. That kind of margin called the fixed margin. Okay. Then we can go to the, now you can see there's a bottle. Okay, without the lid. Okay, that's open. Now for my study, I take this is the margin boundary. Okay, here I take this top layer as a boundary, but there is no any visible boundary. That means if you put your finger, you can move your finger through this boundary. This kind of boundary called imaginary boundary. අපි හිතින් හදාගන්න එක. But the other boundaries are real, because we can touch it, we can visible it, we cannot move our finger through these boundaries. This kind of boundary called real boundary. Okay, this is the major type of boundary. Okay, surrounding. That means now there's a system, there's a boundary, other part is the surrounding. The space outside the system is called as the space outside the system boundary is called as surrounding. Okay, exchange heat and work with system through the boundary. Example, thermal reservoir, exchange heat with system, work devices, spray, piston, weight, atmosphere. We will discuss the laws of things later with some example. Okay. Now this is example, we can take some idea on the, now there is a flame. Okay, now this is the study area, this is a thermal dynamic system. Okay, this is the boundary, this is the imaginary boundary, because there is no any physical objective, the physical part, physical boundary. Therefore, this is an imaginary boundary. And the, okay, the system boundary, and this is the thermal surrounding. Okay, here in this side, the surrounding, we can do some work from surrounding to system, or we can add some heat to system or anything. Okay. Next, we will going to talk about the properties of the system. I think we have done this part under fluid mechanics system can, any characteristic of the system is known as the properties of system. There are two types of properties, the intensive properties and extensive properties. Okay. uh, Properties, intensive properties, properties which are independent on the mass of the system is called as are called as intensive properties. The examples are density, temperature, and pressure. The extensive properties, the properties are which are depend on the mass of the systems, is called as intensive properties. The examples are volume, enthalpy, kinetic energy, such of the things. In this example, now there is a system. There's a, you can, there is a container or something. Now I am going to divide this part into two. Okay. Now the mass should be divided into two, volume should be divided into two, but the temperature, pressure, and density are same in each system. There's no change of the temperature. Therefore, temperature, pressure, and density are called as intensive property. The mass and volume can be categorized as intensive properties. Okay. The next one is basic concept of thermal, the macroscopic analysis, and the other one is microscopic analysis. In macroscopic analysis or approaches, in this analysis, average molecular behavior is taken into consideration. This approach is valid till the concept of continuum holds good. Okay. Now, in this analysis, we take the all system together. We discuss the all system as one system. Okay. But the microscope analysis, we divide the system into number of molecules. Then we discuss study the behavior of molecular or system the one by one. Okay. And this we study the behavior of individual molecular behavior in this analysis. But this is very difficult because it is in this type, this type of analysis, we take the one molecular, then we have to discuss about it. Then another one, likewise, we can take, if there are 100 type of molecules, then there should be 100 type of studies. Okay. Actually, this is the proper way to study a system, but in our case, we are not going to discuss this kind of analysis. We discuss about the macroscopic analysis. That means we study overall behavior of molecular. Okay. In this table, you can get some idea on the differences between microscopic and macroscopic analysis. In microscopic analysis, study the individual behavior of the molecular properties like viscosity, velocity, and kinetic energy are unpredictable before and after impact on the wall of the system. The study of the macroscope study of the overall behavior of the molecular. The properties like pressure and temperature of the system can be easily measured. Okay. Analysis of overall behavior of system is very easy than in microscope analysis rather than microscope analysis. Okay. The measurement of blood pressure and this macroscopic, it is very easy to understand the behavior of the molecular, but the microscope, we have to get some, it is not easily studied. We have to use number of mathematical model. We have to sometimes the VM, there are a number of studies under this one. Therefore, we mainly focus on macroscopic analysis. Macroscopic analysis එකදී කරන්නේ අපි ඔක්කොම එකට අරගෙන ඒකේ අපි දේවල් හොයනවා. නමුත් microscopic එකේදී අපි individual part වල තමයි analysis එක කරන්නේ. Okay. That's all of the lecture number 1. I will upload the assignment. You can do it yourself. And if you have any question, please please contact me. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Now we are going to look at the illustration of system, how we illustrate, how we find, how we define the system, the boundary and the system, and how we select the suitable system for our problem. We will take some example. Now for as first example, I will take water bottle. In water bottle, to my study, I will take the inside and water, only water, not the other part. Here, first we want to boundary and we want to take and we want to part the system, the required system from the entire system, entire other part. Okay, first we can draw a boundary. Here we can separate our system from the whole body. Now here there's in the body. Now I will draw the outline through water. Here normally, now here I will draw the dotted line that to illustrate my boundary. Now here my system, in according to this problem, my system is water. Okay. The second example, this is a tire. Now here this type to study. First, I want to select suitable area. That means the study area. That means the system. We want to define the proper system. Here, first, I will draw a line. Here, this is my system inside the tube. That means the tire, the inside air is my system. Now, then we can neglect the picture. Now we can draw the boundary. Here, this is my boundary. You can see here clearly the dotted line is demonstrate or illustrate the system of the system boundary. Now my system is air. We'll take some example. There is a boiler. I think you know what is the boiler. Boilers produce some steams for some purpose in industry level. Here, there are a number of parts. Okay, there are a number of parts. Here you can see there's inlet light, outlet light, and some. There are the number of inlet and outlet. Now, whatever things, we can draw the required part. Here, I will show you some illustration. I can neglect this part. I will just take inlet and outlet and the tube. Now we can remove the picture. Okay. Now this is the required system. Now I draw a boundary line. Here there's maybe some inlet and there may be some outlet. The water will come here and steam water will go out from this outlet. Now my system is gas liquid. That means the steam. My system is the steam. Now I am going to look at the system as a liquid gas mixture. Okay. Now cylinder. In cylinder, now it is we can draw whatever the possible area to study. Okay, take an example. Now here I will draw the cylinder with the piston. Okay, and also here also I have drawn. Okay, now I will remove the picture. Now you can see this is your system. Doesn't matter, there are a number of components, but here this is the isolate, or we can take the part study area. Now here, now there are a number of parts here. I can illustrate my system. Now the dotted line, it is illustrate the study area, study part, study things of our system. Okay, now you can go this through here also. Okay, this is the some kind of pump. Okay, in this one also you can see this is the system. There are a number of parts here. This arm can move up and down. Okay, by compressing we can fill air inside a tube tire. Okay, now we can now I will neglect, I will remove other part. Then there are a number of part here. You can illustrate this is our system inside air. Okay. Now we will try to go to the real situation, the real application. This is this picture of a power plant. In power plant, what they make, what they use in power plant, electricity can be produced. Okay. Now we will try how to demonstrate this system with this system. Okay, we will try to demonstrate the real application. Okay, now you think this is the power plant. In power plant, what is there may be some energy resources like charcoal. Okay, we can input charcoal, whatever the thing. After doing some processes, as output we can take electricity. Not only that, actually during this process some exhaust gas and the ash, dry ash may be produced. Okay, this should be removed. That means these are the output, the wastage. Or gas may be go to outside. Okay, here you can see there are some chimney. Okay, in chimney some exhaust gas gases move outside. What we can do, this is the plant. Generally we can say this is the input, this is the output, the main output, and also there are some waste things, the gases and the ash, and also some we can add the some other part. That means there are during this process we should add some cool water to cool the process, to cool the things. Then we can get this cold water out as output, hot water as output. Okay, this is the sim. Now all thing inside the plant we can say the system. අපි power plant එකක් ගත්තොත් මේ power plant එකේ input තියෙනවා output තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙහෙම අපි මේක ඇන්දොත් මේක ASCII සිදුවන මේ ක්‍රියාවලින් සියල්ලම අපිට together we can say this is the system. Inside system there are another separate system. Okay, we will take another example. Now this is the basic idea of the plant, but this is the very complicated one. But here you can say there's a boiler. Okay, there's a high pressure there's a turbine, then another turbine, and it's run the generator to produce electricity. Then okay, boiler produce some heat. Okay, that heat go through the tube turbine. Okay, then hot. Now there is now during this process some this process done by using steam. That steam go to condenser. After condenser it go to the pump. Through the pump it go to cooling tower. Then after cooling tower we can feed it to the boiler. Okay, that in the circular. ඉස්සරහා බොයිලර් එකට එනවා හීට් එක, ඊට පස්සේ ටර්බයින් වලට යනවා, ටර්බයින් එකෙන් කැරකෙනවා, ඊට කන්ඩෙන්සර් එකට යනවා, කන්ඩෙන්සර් එකෙන් ඊට පස්සේ යනවා කූලින් ටවර් එකට, ඊට පස්සේ කූලින් ටවර් එකෙන් ආයෙත් පම්ප් එකට යනවා. Okay, now there are different many type of stage. That means there are many type of system. Here you can say you can take a boiler as a one system. Inside the plant there are different steps, and also you can say there should be to heat to apply given to give heat to the boiler. There should be a furnace. Okay, furnace, and furnace now we can say this is the another another system. And also this turbine, this is another system. That means we can take separate system. So you can take these two unit as your system, or you can say this is your all together. You all together you can take a system. That means according to your requirement and your reason and your whatever you want, you can define the system. In the later we can later I will explain with some example. When you go to the Carnot cycle and other cycle, then we have to take this idea. Okay, that's the end of the part 6. Okay, next we will try the definition of state. What is the state of a system? Now for that one we'll take some example. Now you can see there are two systems, system 1 and system 2. Due to interaction between A and 2, some properties of the system may be changed. Okay, and also the change due to interaction of system A and system B, some properties of system B may be changed. Okay, now due to this interaction between A and B, some properties of the system change. This is that change in properties, or that due to this interaction of the system, okay, there's some properties or something is changed. That is called as a state of the system, or change due to interaction of the system. Some properties of the system is changed. That is called the change of the system is called as the state of the system. Okay, normally sometime this in given time. Okay, we will take some example, the definition of this system. Now we will think. Now there's a system. The sum I will write down some relevant characteristics or some relative properties of a system: the mass, pressure, and temperature. And normally when you consider about the mass or property, pressure or temperature, it should be come with some quantities. That means some value. Okay, you can say 50 kilogram, 1000 kilopascal, and some 350 Kelvin. Okay, all together the characteristic of the system with quantity, we can say the state of a system. That means now I will take some example. Okay, now you think there is a system. Now you can see this is the piston. Okay, now there is a piston like this. Inside the piston, there is a air. Now you can see air has some volume. Okay, it has some density. It has some temperature. Okay, in given situation, the properties of the system are called as the state of the system. Okay, අපි state එකක් කියන්නේ යම් අවස්ථාවක මේ properties වලට මේ properties අපි කියන temperature pressure එක mass එක එයාගේ quantity එකත් එක්ක අපි කියන එක state එකක් නැත්නම් අවස්ථාවක්, state of the system නැත්නම් ඒකේ value එකක් කියන එක අපි කියනවා. Okay. Okay, thank you. That's the end of the lecture number 1.